the military is wild. I'm glad there was a time in my life where I considered jumping in, and then I didn't. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. There was a time in my life where I thought about it, but when I started working real heavy full time, that kind of went out the window for me. One of my friends joined the military at we were like 28, and he went in, and I was like, damn, son, like that. Well, we were already pretty old. How old were you when you went in?
Like 21. It's good for some people, and it's needed for some people. I don't think I would change anything. I certainly had different expectations going in than I did going out. I had more respect in a lot of cases for the military and for the things that we're fighting for, supposedly, before I went in than after. 100% my perspective changed over a decade in the Navy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was spinning my wheels. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So then something came around and it's like, hey, by the way, you know, you're really fucking smart, but you don't want to go to school. Well, here's this thing that you can get training to go get a really fucking good job as a nuclear reactor operator somewhere. Immediate, as soon as you get out, there's job offers. I'm still getting emails now of job offers from when I got out back in 2021 for offers here in the state of Florida or surrounding area that are pretty well compensated, just because you get really well trained while you're in.
Yeah.
They shove a half-assed nuclear engineering degree down your throat in about 18 months. And I, compared to a lot of other people, I advanced pretty quickly. I made E7, Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, just under 7 years. It's still technically at my 6-year point when I made it, which is, considering the average for, I think the military is like 14 and a half or 15 years to make that. It's pretty good. I took advantage of it, and it was good for me in a lot of ways. But at the same time, there were certain things that held me back. Once I was able to get some of that discipline I probably did need in my life and find a way to focus. I never studied in my life before the military because I never needed to in school. It was like, I didn't do the homework because I didn't give a fuck, but I would just show up and take tests and be fine.
Yeah.
And I never had to actually apply myself or study until I was in nuke school in the military. So that was good for me.
Do you think being in the military helped you with content creation as far as being extremely focused and committed to it?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
some of that, like you talked about earlier, people being obsessed with shit. Some of that's just personality, and I've done that too. But YouTube, I definitely stuck to, as opposed to a lot of other things I've kind of hopped in and out of hobby wise.
Yeah,
this became like when I realized I wanted to do this as a job. Yeah, 100%.
Jesus, yeah, that's what I think. Like when I see people that are just pumping it out, I'm like, it must have been military. Because he's hyper focused. Jay's gaping butthole says, I'm a thing of color, and Ryan loves me. This question's interesting right here. It says, can you still be recalled? Are you past that point?
I'm past that point. I didn't do reserves. They tried very desperately to get me to do it. And it's good money, as long as you don't get called up. But I was like, nope, I don't want to have any chance of that happening. I didn't do reserves. I served 11 years, right? So my time of obligation, or would have had to do force reserves, was over. It's already done with. I already done all that shit. So no, I'm not a reserve guy.
Jesus, like one of my friends was in what was he in? He was in the National Guard, I think. And he was in the National Guard reserves or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I won't ever have to do anything, right? And he worked with me at GameStop. And I shit you not, he got deployed to Egypt for I think it was 12 months or something. Like a long ass time. He was gone for a year or something, man.
Yeah.
And then he came back and he was so thin. It was really weird because he was always kind of a bigger guy. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're back. And then 6 months later, he was gone again to Syria or some shit. I was like, well, goddamn, he's always gone. So he was like, yeah, I'll never have to go anywhere. And he went everywhere. Rest in peace, man. It was wild as hell.
Did he die?
No, he's fine. I just say rest in peace because it was a lot of time.